All right, everyone. So this is the first meeting after our second anniversary of Brewers, and we are just as passionate as ever for our mission, cultivating the passion for lifelong learning. So let's move forward with higher speed, I guess. Yeah. All right. So now, please, Diaz. Diaz is the moderator for today.
Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's always nice to see you through Zoom to discuss our own book of choice, and then I think I will start share. Am I allowed to share the screen? Repeat. I think so. Okay, wait a second. Actually, I already put all the questions in the chat box, so maybe Donald would like to start first with your book.
Sorry. I'm still confused with number 4, defined in 3 words. Can you example?
For example, amazing, eye-opening, unexpected.
Oh, 3
Anything.
adjectives. So you mean.
Yes.
Describe, you mean? Describe the word,
Yeah,
the book in 3 words. Okay, got it.
So I start first?
Sure.
All right, thank you. All right, so the book that I'd like to share with you today is titled Civilization by Neil Ferguson. If you like the book Sapiens by Yuval Harari, so this is similar to that book. So this is a book that tries to find patterns in history. Another book that is similar is Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. And I love this kind of book because for me, it's really not defined in 3 words, but 1 word. It's insightful. Insightful. And this book, the subject is about why the West made the progress that they did instead of the rest. The West means Western Europe and then the United States. Why not China conquered Europe or Africa, for example? Why was it that the Western empires like British and then France and Spain, why was it that the Western empires conquered the world and not the other around? So that is the subject. What do you like and dislike? Maybe I will share first the answer from the book. So according to the book, there are 6 factors why the West made the most progress and conquered the world. Even today, we speak in English, right? So that is an evidence about that. Why not we speak in an African language, for example, or Japanese or something like that? So that is because British was the biggest empire of all among the Western empires. And according to the author, there are 6 factors that contributed to this result. The first one is competition. It was because in the West, in Europe, there was fierce competition between the states, like British and France, Britain and France and Spain. While in the East, it's quite, yeah, the author used the term monochrome. So one big empire rule everything, like the China Empire Ming dynasty, just one big empire with no competition. So that is the one factor. Because of the competition, first, it encourages innovation in military technology. That's why like accurate artillery cannons all from the West. Actually, cannon came from China, but the accurate one with good trajectory came from Europe. And then secondly, because of the competition, they became more efficient at raising funds. For example, public debt using borrowed money is unknown in Ming China, but it's an invention of Europe because they had to be innovative in raising funds for war and competition. So that's the first factor. The second one is science. The scientific revolution was in Europe only, actually, and it's quite strange actually because previously it was Asia, like China. They invented paper and then cannon, but then again, this is because of the competition. They were motivated to progress in science, and also because of Renaissance, they rediscovered old truths after emerging from the Middle Ages. So science. Third, property rights. Property rights. It means that even so, actually, even between Western empires, we can contrast between in the America continent, the continent of America. In the north, it was the British Empire, and in the south was Spain. And the contrast between these two is that in America, the land can be owned by many people, common people, while in the south, only a few elite can own the land. And because of this, even common people can move upward in social ladder, and this social mobility is one big factor. So that is the third, social mobility. And then the fourth one is medicine, because they usually this one is related to science, because they had the inventions in medicine. They can conquer distant lands because there are diseases like tropical diseases, malaria, for example, that threatens these Western empires. So they had the incentive to invent the medicines in order to conquer these distant lands. So medicine, and then and also a side effect of the medicine is that the human lifespan everywhere increased, also in the conquered lands. And next, consumer society, the fifth one, consumer society. Actually, if I put it another term, it is market-driven economy. So the economy is driven by the consumers, by the market, instead of just serving a few elites. Capitalism, and then the market, all this also emerged from Europe, like the first stock market in Holland, I think. And then the last one is the work ethic. So after Renaissance, there was Protestant Reformation, and it brought with it a different mindset about work. So previously, the mindset about work is that if you are blessed by God, then you should not work so hard. That is the mindset that the Spanish had. So when Pizarro conquered Inca, they wanted to get gold, and they think that's an evidence of the blessing of God. You do not need to work hard; you have gold. But the Protestant, this is Catholic mindset at that time, Catholic before Protestant Reformation. But the Protestant Reformation with Britain and then Holland and then the United States, they see hard work as the evidence of being piety. So different mindset. One say that if you are blessed, then you do not need to work hard. The other one said if you are blessed, then you need to show your gratitude by working hard. So different mindset, and all these six factors combine into the economic benefits that we see. All right, so sorry, quite long. Next, what do you like and dislike? What I like is I get to see all these different factors in history and how they interplay together. What you dislike? Mm, Nothing that I can think about for now. Of course, every author has his or her own bias, but I think that is normal. So I do not agree with everything, so that's fine. That is the case with every book. And then number three, who will benefit the most? Do you mean the readers or what? Yes.
Yeah, for example, the educators or someone who works as a businessman or maybe the government.
All right, so I think the one who will benefit the most is the government, but because I am not the government, I can still get the benefit of, oh, so this is the factor that encourages innovation. So that is also beneficial for each of us. In short, it's competition in mindset in my mind. So competition is good and the right mindset is necessary. Define in 3 words. Like so, competition, mind. If it has to be adjective, only one word, insightful for me. If I can use nouns, it is competition and mindset. Yeah. So 3 words, two nouns, one adjective. Competition is important, and then mindset. Rating 1 to 5. Well, let's say 4.5. Thank you.
So 4.5. Thank you, Donald. Anyone would like to ask question?
Donald, what is the competition with the right mindset look like? How does it look?
The right mindset is the last factor, work. So it saw work as virtue, hard work as virtue. It was new back then. Now it's commonplace. You can see that East Asia is more workaholic than Europe and maybe the US, maybe
Yeah.
like Korea or Japan. But in the past, that wasn't the case.
Oh. What changed it?
Yeah, the Reformation. Before the Reformation, it is said that if you are blessed by God, then you do not need to work hard.
Even in East Asia?
No, that was in 16th century.
Yeah, but
In Europe.
what's the impact? What made East Asia change then? That now has become
all right.
workaholic.
So in 16th century, there was this reformation. So hard work is a virtue, and because of that, and also increasing wealth is actually a good thing because before the reformation, you may not. It is better to be poor than rich because that's creating. So all this gave rise to capitalism.
Yes,
Capitalism
I
in
agree
the
with but that was in Europe, right?
yeah. And then
But is there
capitalism.
an impact
Sorry,
to it
let me
in
finish.
Asia?
Let me finish. So, and then capitalism spread around the world, and everybody adopt the mindset of capitalism. So that is the sequence of events. But capitalism itself came from this new mindset. As Asia has the hard work mentality from the capitalism mindset.
Not
So
from their Confucius that says merit work is merit. I think in Confucius, working is also merit.
yeah. All right. So these 6 factors are actually intertwined. So not just one factor by itself. So it's true. In Ming China, there was a very competitive exam by the emperor every year, and it was very hardworking.
Government official exam, right?
Yes. So it's true, as you say, but unfortunately, it was an exam for conformity, meaning you must give the right answer as defined by your superior. So that is related to factor number 1, competition. So all these factors actually are intertwined. So if you just take one by itself, like for example hard work, it's also elsewhere, but the 6 combination is the what makes it unique. So yes, they had this hard work mentality, but you must conform to your superior. So the innovation or creativity part is missing. Yeah,
it's curbed by that, yeah. Somehow limited by a ceiling of some kind if it's in Asia.
Because they already thought that they had the superior culture.
Yeah.
So there is one story that a European adventurer came and the emperor simply said, sending message, I think to King George or something. I forgot. We do not need any invention from the West. We have everything we have. We have everything we need, and we have the best of everything.
Yeah. I remember that. Who said that before? It was you, right? In the previous book. Yeah, I think so. Like, go back to your country. Like, we have everything we need. And then, actually, it was in the book, Loonshots. Sorry, was it Loonshots? Yes. The one that curbed Kingdom of China because they did want to embrace technology from the West that time. And one person who actually did it somehow became exiled, right? And he said, I only have my pen as a companion. So, my brush to write. So it was, yeah, good.
Yeah, actually there are a lot of interesting examples in the book. For example, San He, I think we call it Cheng Ho, right, in Indonesia, was a great admiral
Mhm.
with much bigger fleet than Europe at that time, way bigger, like 28,000 crew compared to Vasco da Gama at that time only 170, I think. So much bigger. But the problem is that because there was no competition, one person, one emperor can simply stop everything. The emperor said it's bad, so just decide to stop. But in the West, there was competition, so they had the incentive to explore. So, yeah.
How thick is
Yeah,
this book,
even
Donald?
even
I want to
Columbus.
read it. Sorry, Edo. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, uh, yeah. Compared to Columbus, Columbus is actually an Italian, but somehow he is funded by Portugal emperor at that time because he is refused by his own emperor to do exploration. Right? I mean, that is what the meaning. Compared to China, there is only have one emperor.
So you have no choice, like in China. But
Yeah,
in Europe, you can move to a different place.
Yes, it was in what book? Yeah, we talk about it, right? What book it was?
I think
When
it,
you had a choice.
I think it's from Jared Diamond, from Jared Diamond book. Or you,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. When you have a choice, that's why. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's the
it's
one that you
also the
mentioned, right, Pipit?
ecosystem.
The one that you suggest, guns, germs, and steel.
Yeah. Yes, but that part is not in Jared Diamond's Germs and Steel, but the other one,
Upheaval.
the other title. But it was the one writing it down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the ecosystem to make civilization succeed, one of the factor is there are alternatives. So if you get turned down by one ruler, you can go to the next one. Right? Like who's the guy? Leonardo da Vinci was rejected in Italy, and then he just moved to France. And the king of France just loved him and then provided him with stuff. That's why now Mona Lisa painting is in France, not in Italy, right? So that's another example.
Okay, cool. So then the the book is like every other nonfiction. While reading one book, it will always refer to certain kinds of books, and the more we read, I think the more we can refer to, right? So mm this is the thing that I think supposed to be like the what do you call the passion for reading more and more. So thank you, Donald, for sharing. Any more questions for Donald? Okay, I think that's all. So
How
I
thick
think
was the book? Sorry, that was my question.
how thick
I
was the
could have
book?
searched it, but how many pages? I want to read it.
You mean the title, Civilization?
No,
The
like
the how many pages? Was it like
pages.
300-ish or even more?
More than 500? What? Oh, you have to Google it. Sorry, guys. My hands are tied. I cannot type it right now.
Okay, Vipit, go finish your brunch. It's
Yeah.
already lunchtime now.
Yes.
432.
400? Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
All right. Got it.
So
Thanks.
so more or less like Sapiens, I think. Thank you, Donald, for sharing. And I think I'll go to Edu. Are you ready?
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, what is the subject? The subject is, this one is the book. The title is We Need to Talk, and We Need to Talk by Celeste Headley. How to have conversation that matters. The author is a radio announcer and interviewer, also a host that has been interviewed thousands of people before. His main concern is right now in the digital age where everything is connected, but somehow people become less connected and more divided. That's why we need to encourage more to have a conversation that matters. What I like about this book is straight to the point. This book consists of around 200 250 page, and there is two part in this book. The first part is like a general view about conversation. This is only a quarter of the book, only around 50 pages or less, and the rest is all about this point about having a good conversation. Amongst the points that is important to me, I think first is to be present. We are become less and less present in a conversation. For example, when we have a conversation with other, we bring our phone like we bring sword to a battle. So we no longer put 100% of ourselves in the conversation. This is not a good thing because research shows that human is unable to have a multitasking. Even if we believe that we can do multitasking, but turns out our brain just unable. There is a physical limit, there is a biological limit on how much we can focus at a time. And then there is also to keep a conversation short because humans have less time to focus. Science show that we have around the same focus time as a goldfish. So it's only around 8 seconds. So if we talk more than 8 seconds, there is a big chance that the listener is no longer listening to your point in a conversation. So that is what's important to keep a conversation short. And then another thing is that some something is need to say and something is better to be avoided in a conversation. So we better to avoid with we know the boundaries, so don't play near the border. That is what is important also. Then I think there is more to the point, and every point in this book is conveyed in a simple manner, and also she's giving some of experience based on her role before as a radio host, where she interviewed many kind of people from different background. And then there is also some she's also citing some research in psychologies and humanities that support her point about how to have a conversation that matter. And then the question number three will benefit the most. I think this one should be applied to all people because everybody need to have a conversation. We as a human need to talk to one another. So this will be so much benefiting every person that want to have a good conversation, especially for people that is having some kind of difficulties in having conversation. For example, like me, because I think conversation is one thing that I dreaded the most. Three words about this book. Uh, I personally think that it cannot describe in 3 words, but I think this book is eye-opening. Only 2 words. Yeah. For my rating, I think this book is five from five. Okay, think this one I want to talk about the book.
Okay, thank you, Edo. Anyone would like to ask question about Edo's book? What's the title again? Can you show the book?
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
I have a question but for Edu.
Yeah.
Why are you afraid of conversation?
I don't know. Maybe I think that is just my trait.
Yeah, but since when do you remember?
I think since the beginning.
Of time?
Yeah.
Since the beginning of
Wow.
time when you were born, or
Time.
since the beginning
Yeah. I mean,
for the earth?
since the beginning,
Okay.
I can have a conversation. I think.
Okay.
Okay. Have you tried finding out why?
I think I just inefficient at conveying message through a conversation.
How about writing?
Writing,
Can you write better than speaking then?
yeah, I can write better than speaking, but then to publish it also one of thing that I dreaded the most.
Oh, perfectionist.
Have you joined Toastmaster?
Fajar.
No, not yet.
You should consider it
I
because
should
I
try.
had the same problem before, but now it's much better.
Now you cannot stop, Fajar.
Yes.
And when did you realize that you need like more lesson on how to talk, how to like engage in a conversation? Because I do know that some people are having difficulties like doing small talks, or just basically just want to like order something, and then they would just like, no, I prefer not to order, and then let me suffer, or let me it's okay, I can hold my thirst, I can it's okay, I will no longer be hungry anymore. It's something like that. Because I have one of my friends are, I mean, she doesn't want to speak at all, but I don't know why. And um I don't know if there is some kind of trauma in, maybe in the childhood. But you know, if whenever I go out with her, it's always me who order everything. Like, she will just like, I want to
She's
order
afraid
one
talking
nasi
to
goreng.
strangers.
Sorry?
Is she afraid talking to strangers?
Yeah,
Something like that. But also, I mean, it's getting even tougher, because one time we were planning to meet up in a like a food court, and then I said, oh sorry, I'm going to be late, just order something, then I'll join you as soon as possible. And then when I arrived, and then she was just like sat there and didn't do didn't do anything at all, because she was waiting for someone. Or I don't know, it's getting even a lot difficult nowadays. So I don't know. And then I suggest her, at least, I mean, it's already in a, I mean, she's already very thirsty, but then she was insists to just wait for me, because then I'll be there, and then I order for her. So do you have that kind of, I mean, similarities like that, or you just don't like to talk?
I think I'm quiet since little, but then that's don't usually cause me any struggle. But since adolescence, I think when yeah, I start to have to do stuff personally by myself, then I realize that, oh, that turns out that's not normal. I need to do stuff myself, and then yeah, that time since adolescence, I think, when I realized that conversation is one thing that I dreaded most.
But when you have to present something, you can do it, right? Like you have to present your script C, or you have to go to interview for a job, you can do it, right?
I can do it, but honestly, that's not an easy thing for me. Like
Mm.
it's draining too much of energy from me. Like
Uh,
I cannot do anything in one day if I plan to have a phone call in the afternoon, for example, like that.
oh, wow. So
You
you have
have
to
like,
prepare the whole day to talk to someone.
Yeah, kind of thing.
okay, do you experience like, you know, my friend said like she had, you know, I had this keringet segede biji jagung, you know what you know what I mean? It's like very big a very big amount of sweat, because like she needs to talk, because she needs to say something to a stranger, which is like cashier, or you know, waiter, even driver, right? Because you need to communicate. This is, I mean, you don't have to be expert anyway. We will always learn, but at least for some kind of things, simple things, basic things, you need to do it by yourself, right? So I don't know, I think my she doesn't like to talk to people, because her type of voice is the one that is very what do you call it, high pitch. So it seems like she's making a fake voice. And then she I think she doesn't like whenever people say, what happened to your voice? I think it's like that. So
Ah,
she will always avoid
yeah, it's
talking.
something psychological.
So
But
I
if
don't
I
know.
could go back to Edo, I think Edo is just situational uh, introvert. But I think like when you have to present something, you still can do it. Because I remember when Edo came to book Brewers the first time, it was fine. I don't see bulir-bulir jagung of keringat in him. He could talk, right, Donald? It was what, three of us, right?
He
I
doesn't
think
struggle that much
he
at the
did
time.
not struggle at all. Actually, it was hard to stop him when he talked about this book.
Yeah, at least I realized about this issue and I try to overcome it. I struggle actually to overcome it, but I'll try. I'm not avoiding something, but I try to go straight into the problem.
Okay, are you
Polonia
happy?
Toastmaster is open.
Oh yeah, good, good, Fajar. Are you happy? Finally, you chose this book. Then did it help you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions for Edo? So thank you, Edo, for sharing the book because as someone who currently learns communication, I think I also need to learn more about how to talk.
May I comment a bit? But
Sure, Donald.
yeah. So I just remember that on that topic, that a book that I read a long time ago that has been helpful for me is How to Talk to Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere by Larry King. So it was eye-opening for me because so you can have this kind of conversation. You must show curiosity to people, something like that. So it was eye-opening for me. Larry King, How to Talk to Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere. Okay,
Oh yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, Larry King is very famous for his
Host.
open-ended question. Open-ended
Larry King,
questions.
the late night host, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very, very famous for his type of open-ended question. So all the questions is the one who answer will not answer only by yes or no. It's different with, I think it's different, a bit different with Chris Voss, but I think we can, as a person, as a whole person, we can combine those two lessons. So thank you, Donna, for bringing that one up. So I guess I'm going to Fajar. Are you ready? Because I know that. Do you have any classes after this?
Toastmaster meeting after this.
Okay. Oh, you're in
So go
Bali.
ahead.
Okay. So I forget what was the 5
Oh, sorry.
questions.
I'll just wait a second. I'll just copy paste. Yes.
Okay.
Got your book, the
So,
subject, and then 1 to 5. Thank you.
okay, so thank you very much, Dias. So today I would like to discuss about a quite interesting book with the title A Short History of Nearly Everything. So basically it is a book that talks about how, for example, the universe starts and then how we have how it how the universe form and then some of it become earth and then how the human come and then we have civilization, so on and so forth. So I think that this is actually quite interesting book. um, Actually, I have not completed the book because it is quite lengthy, 650 pages. But fortunately, now I use audiobook instead of reading. So it is much more comfortable for me to read, to read it via audio. So I can listen to it. Yeah, exactly. I can listen to it while I am washing dishes, while I'm eating, while I'm waiting. So it's much more comfortable. There are several things that I like from the book. Some interesting facts. For example, it says that we we had a Big Bang like several millions years ago, right? Several millions light years ago, right? And it says that if only the Big Bang was a little bit slower, just a tiny slower, then we will not have this universe because it will turn back into singularity. But if the Big Bang was a little bit fast, then we will not have this universe because the universe will expand too fast. It also says that uh, every atoms is every atom has uh, like like magnet, right? If only atom is too strong with each other, the connection between two atom is too strong a little bit, then it's impossible to have this universe. But if it's too loose, then everything will be different. So I think that from those two facts, I learned that maybe that's a miracle of life. That is the secret how the creator create this universe, because uh, the chance of getting the very perfect expansion, the very perfect atom is very small. So maybe that. I have not completed the book, but I think from those two information alone, I find it very interesting. Some things that I dislike, maybe not dislike actually, but in my opinion, the author is tend to be not few things in terms of spiritual. It's more like completely 100% scientific. So uh, so yeah, maybe the two facts that I mentioned before, if it is said by a religious person, then it maybe that person will say it is because of God. But the if it's a completely scientific person, it will say that it is occurring because of random chance. So maybe not dislike, but it is just different perspective. Who will
Or
benefit
maybe
the most?
both. Maybe both, Fajar.
Or what about boats? I don't know. Maybe um yeah, maybe part of it is by God, and he show it via scientific way, maybe something like that. I don't know how it will
Maybe
interpret.
like God set the rule, set the
Maybe
rumus, the
yeah, set the
formula, and
rules.
then let it roll by itself.
Yeah, but the formula is very designed perfectly that we have this kind of universe. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The
What who
Goldilocks.
will yes?
The Goldilocks.
Oh yeah, the Goldilocks. Yeah, the Goldilocks rule. So that the human condition that we are we live today because of very lucky chance, or very well designed by God. Oh, maybe it's between those two. Depends on your perspective. Okay, who will benefit the most? I think everybody will benefit the most. Everybody will benefit the most because I find it very interesting. Um, define in 3 words, apa ya? Scientific, very scientific, informative, and insightful. So I think that from the first chapter in his book, he says that science, at least in school and in scientific journal, are incredibly boring. I have to agree with that. But the way he deliver his message in that book is very engaging and interesting instead of the usual science format that we learn. Rating 1 to 5, I think it's 5, and very recommended. You can find the book via online, or the audiobook is also available in YouTube. That's all from me. Any question?
Thank you, Fajar. I have a question because I'm currently reading only until wait a second. I'm going to start the chapter 9, the mighty atom. You still
Yes.
do you still have you ever have
I
you
have
finished
not reached
until
that
that?
point.
You haven't reached until that point. Okay. So
Mm.
um which part do you besides the religious view, which part of this book that was very intriguing for you? Maybe the Big Bang
Um,
or the uh something to do with the Earth
Maybe it's about Newton as a
on your
person
tongue. Okay.
because he is a weird person. He's he's not married. It says that he's a virgin until he's dead, and
Mm,
sometimes his behavior is very peculiar. He stared at the sun for so many days
mm,
just to see how it will affect his eye, and he will sometimes he use like tusuk-tusuk part of his eye to see how it works. It's weird. It's peculiar, but he's incredibly genius. He invent a new whole mathematics that is called calculus. Incredible person.
okay, thank you, Fajar. Any
Yeah,
more questions?
yeah.
Donald, would you like to say something?
A question for Fajar. So, what is the takeaway from Newton's life that we can apply? I mean,
Um,
how can we learn a bit of his genius?
oh, actually, Newton is only just one part. Um, what should I say? Well, maybe the first is that maybe we should be blessed. We should be grateful that we live in this Goldilocks situation, or it is very incredibly lucky that we even exist in this world because of by the Goldilocks rule. Other than that,
I'm sorry.
maybe yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, from the you said Newton, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah, Newton.
what is the trait from Newton that we can learn? I
The
mean,
trade.
he was curious or hardworking or something like that.
I think he is incredibly uh, curious to the point that it makes other people feel weird out. I mean, he's not very famous. He's kind of weird. Uh, he invented calculus, but he didn't publish it like until 7 years later or 20 years later. And he published new invention, but he didn't publish like after 5 years later or after he's dead. So it's kind of weird. So, but yeah, regardless, his invention and his discovery was phenomenal to our world. So it's grateful, or maybe something that we can learn that maybe sometimes we have to accept our uh, quirkiness, because on the other side, we have certain strength from that other people don't have.
So we have to embrace our
Quirkiness
our
sometimes.
awkwardness, quirkiness. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Any more questions for
Just
Fajar?
take things different. Instinct,
Yes,
Yeah.
being different.
things
Sure.
different.
Mm-mm.
Any more questions for Fajar? And I hope you can finish this book as soon as possible because I saw also from the Goodreads is, um, I mean, every reviews are saying that this is a good one. This is insightful. I mean, all those nicest things ever. It's all in that book. So I hope you can finish it as soon as possible. Thank you,
Mm.
Fajar.
Okay, thank you.
So can I go to Mike? Are you here? Or maybe I don't know. Okay.
Mika, are you here, Mika? I think he was on the phone with someone just now. He was
Oh,
summoned
I see.
somewhere.
Okay. So I think I'll just go to Kariska. Are you here? Also no. And wait a second. Okay, Pipit, just go then. I think you're ready because you already have your batik and you finish eating already, right?
Yes, I have a next meeting, so I'm very fatigued. Yes, why don't you go first and then I'll go after you.
I'll go last.
No, go first. I'm still finding the best quote from this book. So.
I'll go last.
Oh, you go last? Okay,
Yep.
I'll go then. Upi, do you want to share anything? No? Okay, so I'll just go. Yeah. Right. So this is the book not reviewing, I'm reading. I finished it last 2 weeks ago, actually. 30-second philosophies. Right. So this is basically a reference book. So if you want to know about 30 or 50 actually most thought-provoking philosophies, then this is kind of the beginner's guide to understand it. And the reason I wanted to read this is because philosophy is something that has always fascinated me. And I don't know why in all kuliah, everyone learned philosophy, right? And every time you learn it, they say this is the core of the knowledge. This is the basic tenet of human knowledge, things like that. So I've always wondered about it. And I think philosophy is known to be a very elusive subject, and people when they read it, it's not a guarantee that they understand. And I actually agree. And although this book is called 30-second philosophy, every principle was explained in 30 seconds, but it takes a lot more time to understand it. If we just read it as it is, of course, it only takes 30 seconds, right? Only one page, it takes 30 seconds. But to digest it, to reflect it with our background knowledge, to even make a logical connection between each sentence, probably per page it takes like 15 minutes to think about it. And it's really intriguing. The reason why I say it's intriguing is usually based on how much I scribble on this book. And I scribble a lot, like on this book. That's why it's very intriguing. And also, I have put my joke about this book, right? Before reading the book, I was thought that philosophy was elusive, difficult, and then weird, blah, blah, blah. And then after reading this, I still think so. For example, there are so many times when I read this and like, what? What do you mean? It's a lot of things is like with question mark, question mark. But I really like it. It's quite a mental experience and a mental journey to read this. So I really recommend reading this book. So that is the subject about philosophy. What do you like and what do I dislike? What I like is it's concise. It's like, for example, the book talk about Aristotle, ethics, right? And then Aristotle has a wide range of works, wide range of classical books. But this book managed to find the best quote from Aristotle. Among all of those work, what is the best one that can be quoted from him, right? So this is what I like. It's like we don't have to read all of those things, but this book somehow presented the gist and the best part of all of Aristotle's work or Karl Popper's work and even Nietzsche. How do you read this? Nietzsche. You know, the one that
I don't know. I pronounce it Nietzsche, but I don't know
Nietzsche.
how to pronounce
Yeah,
it
it's
anyway.
German. I wish I could
Nietzsche.
ask Mike, but you know, he was famous because his philosophy was adopted by the German Nazi,
Mhm.
the Zarathustra book, right? And that what I don't like is it's too short. I really wish it's 60 seconds instead of 30 seconds. You know, somehow I feel like after reading a certain part of like feels like stop abruptly, you know,
Like
leave us
hanging.
hanging. Yeah, it's like, oh my
Hanging.
god, this is like Game of Thrones type of book. Maybe in a cliffhanger. Okay,
Yeah.
so but I need 60 seconds, maybe so 2 pages instead of one. That's what I dislike. And then who will benefit the most? I think everyone who likes to think about the big picture in life will like this book. If anyone prefer practical stuff that we can apply in daily life, probably they will not enjoy this. But if you like debating, you need like a lot of theories, philosophy to uh, to base your arguments on, right? I think so. If you like about talking about deep stuff, right? I think you will like this book. And Define in 3 words, I think it's an eye opener, at least for me, because philosophy was way out of my radar, yeah, outside my radar, and also it's very elusive. Elusive meaning that when you read a certain sentence, uh, you somehow need to think about it, like okay, and then it feels nice when you finally get it. Like that nice feeling of learning something new is just obvious, because it took you a lot of time to actually think about the meaning. And then the last word will be cliffhanger. So cliffhanger is this book because I feel like I needed to read more about it. And the rating is 4 out of 5. If there's one thing that probably I can share is something that we can apply in daily life. When we want to decide whether something is good or wrong, our decision, we need to think like, what if everyone do it, not just you? So you need to kind of make the scale bigger. So if you want to decide whether you can throw trash out of your car window, right? Imagine if everyone do it. If the result is bad, then it's wrong, right? So if it's good, like imagine if everyone pick up their garbage, put it in where it belongs, then it will be good. So I think that is the kind of simple philosophy that when I read it, just strike the right chord for me, and I'm applying it since now. Okay, so that's my book.
Okay, and then would you rate it 5 out of 5 or
4.
4?
Because I need it more.
Okay, and because of the hanging, it feels like it's not really finished, but then it ends something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Pipit. Anyone would like to ask question to Pipit?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So I have tried to read philosophy book before, but when I read one chapter, I hardly understand anything. Do you have any solution for that?
Actually, this book might be really good for you because
Oh,
instead of reading the whole chapter to know about epistemology, for
yeah,
example, right?
I don't
You can
understand.
just read one page, and this book is
Uh,
quite good in explaining what's the core meaning of epistemology, and also what's the best quote about it, who was the best writer about it. So if I imagine I read the whole chapter talking about epistemology, then I will kill myself. Just kidding. But I wouldn't enjoy it. But it's really good. Immanuel Kant's this explained in just one page. It's really good.
Okay, maybe anyone would like to share their own experience, and if ever reading some kind of philosophy books, or maybe just reading an article, because for me, I had this subject last semester, and then even though the lecturer already sent he summarized it for us, then he made the presentation. That's what we learned from. And then even the presentation itself, it it has like 30 pages, which is, for me, it's very long for a presentation, right? If it's 30 pages, why don't you just make the document in PDF, documents in words, because we can read it thoroughly, just like reading books. It's already in the presentation, but still it's still very long. So that's why I feel very dizzy, and I feel like, oh my God, I cannot understand even one single word about it. But then I read this book, Philosophy Teras, but it's Indonesian book. And I think Henry Manampiring is a pioneer in writing about philosophy, and I think we need more people like him, because philosophy it's always feel very hard to digest, hard to understand. And for me, actually, it takes time to understand it, but once you get it, it stays for a very long time. So I hope there will be a lot more writers who will write about philosophy, but not in a very hard way or in a
Common
too
people,
deep, so that everyone can have benefits just by understanding philosophy, because it's very useful, I guess, in whatever education you choose, whatever subjects you choose in your study. So
You know what I like about philosophy? You can quote a sentence in philosophy and you don't have to understand it. Other people don't have to understand it, but it still sounds so cool. Like, according to Hegel, our understanding of the universe develops in a never ending struggle between contradictions. Like,
don't
if I
understand.
put that on my Facebook, it will be like, wow. Do I understand? Yeah, I need time to understand it. But then it sounds so cool.
Okay, so because I mean, in Indonesia, I think Henry Manambering is the first one who talks about stoicism, um, in a funny way, and in a way that he also mock about his own struggle of depression, of a very tough depression. So I wish there will be more writers, or at least more topics on what are the philosophies that we actually need in our life. So thank you, Pipit, for sharing, and
Can I
that
have
will be
a question
my
for you?
TBR. Yeah, sure. No, no, sure.
Yeah.
Please.
Can you share with us something you learned that is surprising or counterintuitive from the book? Wow. I mean, it's
Counterintuitive.
something that you didn't expect.
Oh, yeah. It's about
Every
belief.
okay.
About belief. So here, Immanuel Kant figured out how a belief can also be true. Sounds strange, right? Because it is. So it's like, oh, okay. So a belief can also be true. Is it's strange, but it's true. Like, oh, what? Okay. So that's Immanuel Kant said that. Here, like here, I don't know. Just try to understand this. A priori knowledge is secured by reflection, while a posteriori knowledge requires empirical research. So this is the difference between faith and not faith, right? So if you have faith in something, usually that's the result of reflection about something, but it's not empirical research. It is like scientific, it's empirical research. But sometimes faith can also be true. So it's like, oh, okay. I've never heard of that. I think faith is just faith. The true degree of faith is very subjective, I think. But Immanuel Kant said that it can be objective as well. So that was maybe the one that I found a little bit not strange, but I've never heard that before.
Any more questions, guys? I think if Mike and Rizka is not ready, then I will continue with my book discussion. Thank you, Pipit, for sharing. So for this, okay, can you see it already? Or is the human machine? Can you see the human machine over here? Okay. So my book, my choice of book for this month is Human Machine, the future of our partnership with machines, because this is about AI and I want to dig deeper onto what is currently happening in the world right now. And maybe because um, I watch lots of movie with all of these CGI, and I think, wow, what's about technology nowadays, so I want to learn more about it. Anyway, this book is written by Daniel Newman and Olivia Blancard. It's those two new person, I guess. I mean, this is the first time for me heard about these two authors, and also this is their first book. And then they the words that provoke me to reading, that intrigue me to reading, is from tools to enhancement to early partnership. So this book shows us that we should be worried that machines will soon or later replace us. But then they also mention that we do not have to be worried. So it feels like my emotions when reading this book, it feels like up and down in every chapter, in every discussion about the book. But then it also reminds me from books, blueprints. I think Pipit also read it, right? It's about human, and it's about evolution. And here they they tell the readers that we don't have to be worried about having partnership with machines, because humans since early age has been having partnership with tools, with machines. It's just evolving, it's just transforming into a more digital, a digital version. So will a machine take away my job? uh, they said that it's a yes and a no, because anyhow humans will always make tools to help their living. And then it's a no, because also human will always make tools. So perhaps if you are not useful enough, you'll be replaced by the tools. However, what is the current problem right now is because previously human is the user and the machine is the instrument, but nowadays human is the user and machine is the helper. So I think we can all relate to a thing where I think we are all using smartphones, right? And then our smartphone is no longer an instrument, it is somehow our helper to organize our Zoom meeting. For example, in the Google Calendar, we can always set up the reminder. And then what else? In every application, like in WhatsApp, they will put on the notification so that we can read it right away. So lots of things that I think we can all relate to it. And then the second part is about the human versus machine. And the author said that it's not human versus machine. We cannot compete with machine, and machine cannot compete with us. It it will be better if it is the human machine partnership. That's the best way, because we have to be side by side with the machine, because they are here to help us. They are here to make us do our job better. And even in this book, they mention everything in every sector of industry. The one thing that I learned is farmer, the one who, I mean, every agriculture should also benefit from this AI, from this machine, because um, if they are, I mean, if they are changi enough, they can put the drone, or they can put those certain kind of maps where they can calculate the fertility of the soil, and then which kind of the best what is pupuk, which kind of the best pupuk that will help the farmer make a do the harvest and so on. And then instead of having a scarecrow, they can use the drone. It will be a lot better to scare away to scare away all those crows, or maybe they and then the drone will help them to see it from the above, so then they do know when is the best time to harvest. So that's a very eye-opening for me, because I thought the farmer should stay traditional in a way, that because it has been helping us to have our foods and needs even until nowadays, right? So then the third part is, should we be worried that the machine will take away our jobs? And then again, the answer is yes and no. We have to be worried if our kind of job is having lots of tasks, and then lots of tasks is replaceable by a current machine. For example, if you're an accountant, this is the example. If you're an accountant and then you have to count um, all these balances from one company, the second company, the third company, and then you have in mind that I wish I can do this thing all at the same time. That's the clue for whenever you should be worried that machine will take away your job. We just have to wait for a person, for a company to build their own AI and then combine it with the IoT, which is the Internet of Things. Then they will make the right combination to help us doing that task. So the key to survive in this human-machine partnership is having what the machine cannot do, which is one, communication, second, the creativity. That's those two things that um, us as a person should dig deeper, should have it more, should enhance in those two subjects, because machine cannot be creative, and machine, no matter how good the machine is, the communication will start always from us who have the brains. It's a lot different with the machine who can talk. For example, like Google Map, they can talk, but still it's human voice over there, something like that. And then the thing that we should be notice is also the black swan. Again, it reflects to what with what I read before. The black swan of this human machine partnership is not the machine, it's actually the globalization. So for example, if a labor who works in a factory, and then suddenly they lose their job, it's not about because the machine take away their job. It's probably because the factory moved out to another country, and then that's where the globalization took away their job. So I think I will wait a second. And so this is my summary. So the subject is about AI because I am worried. Are you worried that your job will be taken away by the AI or by the machine? And then the second one is what I like is the way the author explains. Even though both of them are from the science subject, for me they deliver it very well. I mean, their language is very simple to a person who barely knew about AI. So the thing that I dislike is the lack of detail, because they even though they mention that for agriculture you should do this, for teachers, educators you should do this, for accountant, and then lots of job sector that they mention, but still it's lack of detail on step by step what we should do in this era, if in this new era of digitalization. So but then they also mentioned that they will publish another book of it, which I think and I hope will further details about this AI and machine. And then for me, the third one, answering the question is, who will benefit the most? I think mostly business owners, because nowadays if you want to be an entrepreneur, you don't have necessarily have to have the shop. Nowadays you have e-commerce, you have Tokopedia, you have am I allowed to say the brand? Lazada, you have the Shopee. You can have a virtual shop, and then everyone can buy from your shop, and still you will get the benefit from it. And then the three words that I'm going is, it's a slap in the face, because I never thought about anything like this before, but then wow, it's also an eye opening for me. And then it's somehow scary because um I watched the movie not Transformer, uh forgot it. Oh shoot, I forgot. it's like Transformer, but when the robot it turns into human, and then they
iRobot.
iRobot, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, Total Recall.
Terminator.
Terminator. It's not.
Terminator.
Total Recall as well. Terminator, yeah.
I was about to say Transformer, but Transformer is Bumblebee. I forgot. Okay, thank you for reminding. And then my rate.
2001.
Sorry.
2000. What is Arthur C. Clarke? 2001. Is it? Space Odyssey.
Oh, Space Odyssey. Oh, I haven't watched that one. What I meant is trans. Should I almost say Transformer again? What is it, Edo? I forgot.
Terminator.
Terminator. It's not Transformer. I always remember Bumblebee. Okay. And then my my rating is 4 out of 5 due to the lack of details, and but somehow I get lots of benefit from reading this book, especially when the author mentioned that there won't be anytime soon that somehow the AI will replace our jobs, because maybe if you watch too many Marvel movies, maybe you will imagine like Tony Stark have Friday, right? But that kind of Friday will not happen anytime soon. There won't be any virtual assistant who will help you do this and do that. You know, like just like Friday, if you watch the Iron Man or maybe the Marvel movies, which has Tony Stark, because Friday is very, Friday is very calm, and then whenever the boss would like to fly, okay boss, okay boss. Then it's still somehow it's still in the imagination, but then I do know that everyone will have to deal with this kind of AI, because they will transform into something better, into something newer every single day, every single second. There will be a lot of new platform, a lot of new apps that will help us to do our daily life. So I think that's all that I can share.
Iska has a question for you on the chat box. Yes. Can you see it?
I can. What do you recommend that do we do can differently from this book? Oh, my suggestion is, because I on one of the chapters it says that the AI is scary because nowadays data, our data, our ID is very accessible from anywhere in the world. So I think after reading this book, I also said to my group of families, just to remind them that they need to re-update, to change their password. It's not every 6 months anymore. It should be like 3 months, every 3 months, and then always make the hardest combination ever. And do not put that password also in your phone or in your notes in the phone, because somehow it also has the risk to be taken, and then still we should always have our own journal, our own notebook, just to put all those passwords, because as scary as it is, our ID might be stolen away by I don't know, by anyone who would like to make a new personality or something like that. So just be very careful. That's the simplest thing that I can remind all of you guys. And then what I like most is, because I'm currently surrounded by mostly educators. I said to them that you need to incorporate those AI or those new systems into your own teaching. For example, it is no longer that you are teaching in the whiteboard and then you write something on the whiteboard, right? You should incorporate the video, and then the presentation, and then uh, lots of articles and lots of journals that is very beneficial, that is very in line with whatever topics that you are teaching to your students. So um, I think we should not be that scared, but we should be worried and prepared for that kind of new era. So that's all I'm saying. Thank you. Anything else?
I have an opinion about this, about how AI will take over or robots will take over. I'm not trying to be a Luddite here, all Luddites, but I think after a certain point, it will reach what we call as the tragedy of common in sustainability. When we learn about sustainability, they call it tragedy of common. So at some points, the industry will return to human workforce, because if they employ, most of them employ robots, then no one can buy their products. Basically, they will just produce, but no one will consume, because people don't have jobs, people don't have income to afford their products. And also the government will not get taxes, because robots do not pay taxes, right? To keep the wheel of governments going, to build the infrastructure, you know what taxes are for. So I think at some points then they will return to human workforce again, although they could have used robots. So there will be a point when the tragedy of common finally happen, and then they will start putting out this rule that, okay, so what type of AI is now allowed? What type of AI is allowed? Just like how they regulate weapons, right? So there are weapons that are not allowed. There are weapons that are allowed. Although the technology to make it is there, it doesn't mean that you can use it. So I think there will be a point when that will happen, and then human will survive after that. We still have jobs, and we still can consume and produce like usual.
So the author also mentioned that the terms of replacing is somehow kind of harsh, but instead they refer it into transforming, because for example, in a factory where uh, factory of milk, let's say, it used to be human, right, uh who who, um, who take away the milk from the cow, but nowadays it's all machine, because and then the machine itself, it has those kind of certain pressure, which kind of pressure would bring out the milk out of the cow. But if 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 the business owners, or if the government is care enough to transform these human workers, not no longer helping the cow uh, getting out of the milk, but train them to be the machine operator, train them to be the caregiver for the cow, train them to make sure that every process of the machine will run smoothly. So instead of replacing, they should not just take away, they should not just vanish away all the human workers. They should train them to be, uh, after all, the human should be always on top of those machine, on top of those AI, and do not ever attempt to let the AI make the decision, because it is one of the I think the failure factor of uh I don't know if I allowed to say this, but one of the Boeing's seven the new Boeing, it it re it rejects whenever there is a stall. A stall is when the airplane is go like this, and then suddenly, because loss of air pressure, and then going down, it 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 prevents the stall, but then somehow it has miscalculation, or maybe a wrong type of handler that will make, instead of stall, it will goes like this. So also, then you heard the crash, right? You heard the crash a few years ago. So um I think we can always learn from that, and I guess lots of movies also um the Terminator, because it happened when the robots start to make decision, and it is not the best decision ever, because humans should always make the decision, because we do have this gift called brain. We do have this gift called nalar. What is nalar in English? We have this
Logic.
sorry,
Logic.
the logic, and then we have this ability to measure which one is right, which one is wrong. So AI don't have that kind of sense. AI don't have, although those formula or those rumors is very advanced, still they don't have that. So yeah, I think worried or not worried, so worried in a sense that sooner or later it will happen, but not to be worried, because we do have brain, and we do learn every single day. So I don't think they will replace us anytime soon.
May I give my opinion?
Sure, Donald.
Yeah, actually have a different opinion from Diaz and Pipit. So I think this is
Please
topic
turn up your voice. Donald
I
cannot hear.
sorry, I cannot hear you also.
Okay, okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I have a different opinion actually from Diaz and also Pipit. I think this topic is a very good topic for discussion, yeah. So Diaz just said that we human, we have the rationality, the logic to make good decisions. Actually, as a
Right.
counter argument is that human have a lot of cognitive biases. So
Mm,
many biases. Selection bias, confirmation bias, so many biases that can hinder us from making good or rational decisions. So that is just a counter argument. I'm not saying which one is right, just for the sake of discussion. And then
mm,
for Pipit said that there will be a point where we will go back to using human workforce and certain AI tasks will be banned. Actually, I think in history, usually people use the latest innovation. That is also in the book that I just shared, is Civilization. Productivity comes from technological innovation. So if one country, for example, ban using robots, then the other country will exceed or beat that country in terms of production because they allow
mm,
robots. So in my opinion, what will happen is that human will be free to do tasks with higher abstraction.
mm,
In the past, we had to do manual tasks, labor tasks, and then we are free to think, to paint. And nowadays, maybe we have to do manual accounting. Next time, we are free to think about business strategy, something like that. So higher and higher abstraction.
mm,
Actually, in my wild imagination, maybe in the future, we have an army of robots under our command as individual. We can tell the robots to explore the moon or the other planets, something like that. So
That's
actually,
too
I
bad.
think
We want to experience being in the moon, not the robots. Send us.
like the
yeah,
one in the Martian. Okay. Yeah.
it's inconvenient. The Earth is much better.
Donald, if it's like the international law can be implemented, like the way we curb atomic bomb, IAEA, for example. So I think, I don't know, in the far future, there will be a sort of international body that regulate what type of AI you can use, even in weaponry, even in industry. So I think at some points when people don't have jobs, then I think that, you know, it will evolve for something. I don't know. But then the higher expressions, I actually agree. Now with the less and less human touch when we produce something, handmade stuff has become the status symbol. Like,
Mm,
things made out of Japan, like all of these teacups that cost thousands of dollars because it's handmade. We
mm,
handmade them in Indonesia too, but
mm,
it's not
mm,
thousands of dollars, right?
mm,
So I know a fan, the traditional fan is $150 as opposed to the one factory made. So I think
mm.
this the loss of human touch will make handmade stuff become status of symbol. And now robots can also paint. in the book range, I think robots can also write an article in Wall Street Journal. So robots can make a report about stock market now. Then people cannot differentiate, oh, it was written by human or by robot. Right? I'm actually curious what will be the first book published by a robot. So that one will be interesting.
For the book, I think it will be a bit harder because the AI is capable only to do repetitive task, and then because of the Wall Street Journal, it's the stock market. They have this formula, for example, like from this day, from today to tomorrow, there will be an increasement, and then the next one will be a decrease. They do aware that kind of stuff because they already know the formula, and then they put the formula into wording. That's what they mention here also. And then creativity, the one who paint, they actually put
Examples.
uh, lots of examples of painting from different kinds of painter, and then from certain formula, from certain coding, they will make everything together, and then they put another one. So still it's not it is original from the robots, original from the AI, but then every painter knows that this art is somehow kind of mixed, although it's unique, but still because of that handmade, that human touch is very will be very rare in the future, and then thus it will make a higher value of human. So
Yeah.
whenever we can learn, at least we have to excel above the AI, above the machine. That's how we can survive, said this book.
I want to
So
respond about Donald human biased, unbiased thingy. Actually, I read that in Talking to Strangers, Malcolm Gladwell.
mhm,
It's true. When the AI actually make the prediction about what is it called, how much punishment they give to defendant,
mhm,
most of the time robots can do the correct, give the correct punishment because they don't talk about, they don't see race,
mhm,
right? They don't see how people, oh, look in their eyes and see whether they're telling the truth. The robots do not care about how your eyes look, right?
yeah,
So they do care about your heart rate, whether you lie or not, all of this. So I agree with Donald that humans have flaws,
mhm,
but that makes a lot of jobs because human has flaws. Then we have psychologists, we have detectives, we have, imagine if all of us are see-through, everyone can lie, everyone cannot lie, basically
yeah,
must tell the truth, and we will reduce a lot of jobs not needed anymore.
yeah. And
Well,
then
I'd like to hear Eto's comment because Eto is a robot expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I also have opinion on this because I expect that the advance in robotics and technology should be free human from inhuman kind of work. Not only the kind of work that is unsafe or unhealthy, but also the kind of work that expect less brain power. For example, right now, day to day, I experience walking in the shop floor, looking for people working. They are just pressing the same button 5,000 times a day. That is what they are doing. Imagine having to spend most of your productive life doing that kind of menial things that can be simply replaced by robot or technology. Then the human will be free to and will be expected to use more creativity and to be expected more to be human, not the kind of thing that also Diaz give example from the book is about the people that get the milk from the cow. Imagine having to spend most of your productive years doing milking the cow. It can be better for them to be like taker for the cow. It is involve more emotion and more creativity and something. So that is what we should expect from the advancement of technology, not to expect that the technology will replace us. We should expect that they will free us from such menial thing that is boring, that is inhuman for us. That is my vision actually for the advancement of this technology.
It is somehow they also mention things like voice reader. In the future, there will be no keyboard. It says like that because uh, it will be connected right away with our voice. Like for example, I'm saying I am having discussion, and then it will type right away without us having to type in the keyboard. But then it also has flaws because um, maybe they cannot hear us properly. For example, like the word eight as a past tense of eat, and eight as a number. There might be the chances where this AI will make the wrong description, will make the wrong typing because we say the word eight. So then instead of having to deal with those with that kind of technology, we can be someone who has the authority, who has the ability to correct the errors, to correct the typos stuff. So then as a human, we can also be a lot better when we incorporate the AI. So this is what the author would like to say, I guess, in this book. We don't have to be worried, but we have to deal with it, and we make sure that we are on top of that AI and the machine.
I think the technology that he has described already exists now. It's Amazon Alexa,
Mm-hmm.
Google Echo is like that. So you can give comments with voice. And about
Mm,
eight, actually there is a branch in AI dealing with that called natural language processing. So it's a
mm,
field specifically handling that kind of stuff. So it
mm.
will not be a problem because the machine will actually learn the sentence structure. So it knows that it is
Wow.
an adjective. So it can
Mm,
or a verb. So it can differentiate between eight, a number, and eight, a verb. So even if you pronounce it similarly, but because it expects an adjective, for example, it will
mm,
pick the right word. So that kind
mm.
of thing already handled these days.
Wow, amazing. So there won't be any more typing.
Yes, because they also put syntax in the
Oh.
AI, so they can identify. Oh, it's supposed to be adjective comes before this, so
Mm.
cannot be ate, but I don't know something else. It's supposed to be adjective, so it's not just from listening, but also from syntax.
So, but then they also have this AI has the ability to really translate our our own I mean our own saying into the typing.
Guys, but have you tried voice typing so far?
No, I haven't tried
I
because
like
I
it.
found
I like it.
really.
Yes, although it's a bit frustrating. Like you need to do this question mark, and then blah 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 full stop blah, 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 comma. Sometimes it just like comma COMA instead of comma. So you still need to but it saves a lot of time. Actually,
Oh,
I'm now writing my daily journal, my diary using Google Docs with voice typing.
oh, cool. Okay, it's one of the examples that you incorporate AI into your daily life.
It
Okay,
saves a lot of time. I'm happy.
okay. So, any more questions regarding this human machine and this I like this machine. It says the word, it speaks the title already.
I'm actually suspicious. Is there a machine writing that book,
Maybe.
telling us to just be okay, guys? Don't worry.
It's a
But
plot
it's
twist.
a false flag. It's a false
And
flag.
later,
They're trying to, yeah, they're trying to make us not to
yeah,
worry.
it's a plot twist in the end. Okay, I guess that's it. And it's 15 past 1 already. Is Mike and Rizka here? Or maybe because it's already, because I need to, for me, I think I need to go out to the cemetery because it's the last weekend before Ramadan. Okay. Any more questions? I guess if no more questions and no more discussion, Pipit or Donald would like to close the meeting and
Maybe Rizka call one more time or Mike. Rizka, Mike. I'm calling you with different voice length.
Oh, can the
Okay.
the voice typing notice that your voice change, or maybe if different voice they don't want to type anymore, something like that? No.
It
Oh,
doesn't.
okay.
It doesn't. But what sucks is sometimes they pick up our accent.
Oh,
So you make feels insecure. Like, did I say it correctly? Is it not standard English? Or like, but it's fun. It's fun.
because Friday of Tony Stark also has this ability uh to notice
You want to see it?
the wrong or I mean something difference with
Oh.
Tony Stark's voice. Boss, what happened to you?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is my uh, right, right, and then tools. You have shoes.
Who's typing?
Let me move. Okay. Tools, voice typing, right, and then click to speak. Hello, comma. My name is Pipit. Full stop. Peyton, see? Today I would like to talk about suicides. Full stop. See? It's easy.
Oh, okay. Then you have to correct only the error parts,
Yeah.
right?
But still saves a lot of time. I don't have to type.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you for sharing. Now I know how to make all those weekly assignment a lot faster rather than typing. Okay. And Mike, Rizka, are you still here?
This guy open mic just now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, loud and clear. Hi, sorry. I'm away, so not at house right now. Okay, so I'll make it like quite short. My book is by Dan Rome, The Back of the Napkin. So I started this reading this book after I read his third or fourth book, Show and Tell. Is this is basically where he asks he wants to answer three questions. First question is about how how to solve problems with pictures, actually learning to get better at visual thinking. And so what interesting about this book is, even though it says a visual thinking and learning with pictures, it has too much words other than pictures. So I put that into a lower rating than I should. And basically, he explained that we can solve any problems with pictures using our minds, our mind's eyes, our eyes itself, and hand and eyes coordinations, which basically we should draw something out. And so he introduced the concept of looking, seeing, imagining, and then showing uh, showing. So looking is about how our eyes, when we see something, we are actually like collecting informations, a random one. And then after that, we go through seeing. Seeing is about stacking that information into a certain categories. And then we after that, we imagine what is the relation between this stack of information that we have. And after that, we go to showing what we think differently from first time we see the problems or situations that we would like to solve. I've read this cover to cover, but up until now, because since I haven't practiced it, I I couldn't say much about what this book actually want to share. But yeah, so who will be benefit the most for those people who needs new tools for problem solving using visually? And 3 words to describe this, simply too many words. Rating 3.5 because I really have high expectation for this book to be more memorable, reflected to show and tell with a lot of pictures. But at the same time, if I read this book first, I think I will rate it higher. So yeah, that's my book by Dan Rowling. Thank you.
Thank you, Kariska. Any particular reason why you chose the book?
Yeah, I was with Mbak Pipit. We are uh, currently trying to make a review on one particular book. And so from show and tell, he described the usage of pictures of, and I still found it's a lack of like a back story or foundation why this type of pictures, why it can be useful and how we can show it to make what our ideas more understandable to the our counterparts. So that's why I read this book, but it's still very, I don't know, it's quite complicated because I haven't used it. That's basically the idea. I haven't actually used it. That's why it's still complicating for me to share how visually breaking down problems can solve it more creatively. That's what I think.
Thank you, Kariska. Any questions?
Is there anything that you can create, Riska, after reading this book? That is there any ideas you convey using pictures now after you read this book?
Yeah, I think I do. So first time when so he mentioned that when I'm facing with a problem, first thing you have to draw is a circle and put a name on it, and then you start from there. As simple as that. When you can describe a problem in that single picture instead of what's best is always pen and paper, but if you don't have one you can use your tools. But yeah, once you write it down, then you can start, your mind will lead the way. It's helpful. That one is helpful.
Start with
Even
the circle
though
of life.
Can be
Your
anything.
name.
It can be anything because circle, I mean, anything can be draw from circle. It's like a foundation part.
mm,
And I think, I don't know, Da Vinci is also using circles to describe how a human.
Vitruvian man.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Vitruvian man, yeah, from circle as well.
mm.
So yeah.
Kariska, is it beneficial for someone who cannot draw at all? Like, for
Yes.
example, me, because I
Yes,
cannot,
definitely.
even when making a person, it will be just like circle, stick, 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 stick.
Yeah,
That's it.
stick figure. It's
Oh,
very
okay.
beneficial.
I
Stick
think
figure.
stick figures is in this book, right?
Yes.
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 Stick figure is the motherhood of illustration.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Not the motherhood, is the mother. is the granddaddy of all illustration.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah. So from a conversation with the author, when he is asked, "What is your most favorite picture of all the thousands?" I think, yeah, he drew a lot of things, and he mentioned two or three pictures. One is emoticon, and the second is a circle. Uh, there's like, circle. I think he's also mentioned circle.
The emoticon, you mean like two
Smiley. Sorry,
twos
a
and then
smiley.
smiley? Oh, like
Yeah,
two
smiley.
dots and smile. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, the smiley one, the emoticon with smiling face.
Like that, the one I put in the. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, all
yeah,
right.
yeah. Because with only you just type to a thing, and we can understand a lot of things. It describe a lot of things.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Oh, I I never knew that solving problem can be can be deal with as simple as drawing circle, and although
Yeah.
it's not the perfect circle. Okay.
Yes.
That's the start, yes, not the ending.
I
The
know,
circle is
but
just a
he's
start. You
but,
cannot explain quantum physics with a circle.
but then
Oh,
Kariska also said that our mind will follow after. So then
Oh,
from the
yes.
circle it will grows into another thing.
Yeah, from this book,
Okay.
he using the example of Southwest Airline, where the the founder just draw at the back of a napkin the the triangle, which going to be the three routes. The first route that start and makes Southwest as big as today all comes from drawing something and putting words around it.
Okay. Oh, insightful. Thank you, Pa. Any
Thank
questions
you.
for the back of the napkin? I think that's it. And Donald or Pipit, you can close. I think it's already 1:30.
can we talk about what we want to read next before we close it?
I haven't figured it out, but I think I will read Saladin by John Mann.
Saladin. Is it fiction or
Non-fiction.
non-fiction?
Saladin al-Akbar. I have
Oh, it's a history then.
history.
Oh, Saladin. Is it the general or
Yeah,
something?
the general
Oh, okay.
of Perang Badar, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
there will be the figure
Ramadan edition.
yes, Ramadan edition, and there will be discussed in the kajian. That's why I'm reading it also. So I hope the perfect timing, I guess.
Okay. Well, I will read Nothing to Do with Ramadan about quantum physics.
Oh, okay.
Beyond the Bleep, and I'm at this right now, so it's halfway through.
Oh, already.
And I'm now after reading philosophy, I'm kind of addicted with heavy language. I like it when I need to think first before I digest it. Like, what is it? I don't like easy read now. So I'm on a roll with this. So next month, I will review Beyond the Bleep about quantum physics.
Okay, cool. I haven't liked that kind of part, but I have to because in Atomic Habits, it is mentioned that we should always aim higher in order to make a progression, in order to make ourselves better in a simple way. So, Donald, what's your next reading?
I'm sure whether I will share it next month. Usually I decide only a couple days before. But currently I'm reading Business Adventures, which Warren Buffett and Bill Gates both say is the best book in business. So it
The
contains
title is Business Venture.
business adventures.
Oh,
Adventures. Oh, okay,
adventure.
okay.
It's actually a book that contains about, I think, 10 or 12 stories.
Hmm.
I'm now reading
Okay.
the fourth one, the fourth story.
Okay. Thank you, Edo.
Currently, I'm reading a book about Burma. It is
Oh,
a history, some kind of summary of history of Burma, the modern one. Because yeah, the situation in Burma currently really, yeah, really eye-catching. Yeah,
What's the
catch my
title?
attention. I think Blood and Sweat.
Blood Cool?
This one.
Blood, Dreams, and Gold.
oh,
Whoa, the
dreams.
changing face of Burma. What year is that?
This is, I think, from early 2010, 2011 or 2012.
So Aung San Suu Kyi was not released yet that time.
It is recently after Aung San Suu Kyi release.
Oh,
So it
okay,
is
okay.
right after the fall of the
Yeah,
military regime.
Junta.
Okay.
Yeah, the junta.
You know what's funny? I went there and I had a really great experience in Yangon. And I want to go back. And my friend got a job in Yangon. It's like,
Hmm.
go. It's really peaceful. It's not like what people say. And after that, 2 months after that, this happened. So I'm like, babe, you put me to hell. I never thought it
Okay.
would happen again.
All of us. It's a black swan, I guess.
Black Swan.
Kariska, what would
Yeah.
you like to read next month?
I'm currently reading Why Therapy Works by Luis Cozzolino. I don't know. I think I'm in a self-healing mode. So I think I'll share this because I've been reading it a couple of pages. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, thank you. So we are ready to do our book discussion next month. Will be on the where's my calendar? Mm,
8.
8th of May. Okay, 8th of May. So I guess I'll see you in the 8th of May. And can we take pictures before we end this?
Yes. Oh, we did not take photo with Fajar, yeah.
Oh,
I will put him as a edit him in. Mike, final call, Mike.
Kariska, are you going to run again this afternoon?
Okay, show your book, guys.
I don't have book.
Or
I
if
just
it's
like
ebook, show it.
Oh,
One.
New sweater.
I don't look at the camera. You're not looking at the camera. Your camera is under you. Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay.
okay.
So that's it.
That's it. Thank you and have a great weekend. And see you next month in the book
See you.
discussion.
I hope Edo will be the moderator next month.
Yay!
It's about time, right, Donald? Never been a moderator before.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys. I will end the meeting for all, yeah?
Okay,
One,
bye.
two, three.